Welcome. I'm Nick Foy, the founder of AskNickFoy.com. Today's tutorial is going to be showing you how I make different images using Canva for Instagram. So here on my Instagram page, Under 30 Wealth, we've got 320 posts, over 9,500 followers, and the biggest thing that's led to me getting a lot of followers is that I post quote photos that I've made myself. And then a lot of these I repost of other accounts as well. And then I tag, those account owners to give them the credit. And a lot of times they'll like the image and that'll help it get seen by their audience as well. So some things to note here when you're designing your own. I'm going to be walking you through, how I make this style of design with the cool, the different layers of the image and the text and the border. So as you can see, I've got a themed page here where I've got quote photos, and then every third photo I put, back and forth between the blue and the orange. So right now I'm running a series where I'm talking about 100 ways to invest in real estate on my Under 30 Wealth page. And then I've also got a golf account where I've grown it to 28,000 followers in the past year, doing a similar theme. I post videos and golf photos, and then I also have these practice tips that I line up every third photo. So I go back and forth between the black and the green. So as you can see here, you got these different practice tips using that same type of design I've been going with lately. So those are some examples on my live pages. Now going over to Canva, you want to go to canva.com. It's free to join. You're going to sign up using, a Facebook page, a Google Plus page, or your email address. And once you've signed up for your free account, you're going to log in and see like your dashboard here. That's going to have, when you first get here, it's going to have all the different designs that you've made. They're going to be saved here. So this is my library of designs. So I can go here and click on, my golf practice tip template to open it up. And then I can, change out the tip that I'm giving because I've already made the template. So I just have to change the text here. As soon as it loads, I'll be able to show you. So here I can just change out the text and resubmit or download the new tip. And so I've got, black and green, back and forth. So to make this template so that it's easy to just change the text as you go, you're going to need to use like an Instagram template on Canva. So when you log in, you're probably not going to have any images saved here if you just started a new account. You're going to want to go here to the More tab. So they've got all these templates here you can look at, and they're in pixels, so they're going to see the size. But the one we want is already an Instagram template. So right here under social media, it's going to say Instagram 1080 by 1080. Now, if you're making this image for, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, they've got templates for those as well. So click on the Instagram one, and it's going to open up my square 1080 by 1080 blank canvas here for me to come up with my own design. So to make this style of image here, we're going to start off first by making the background, which is the blue color. And then, we're going to lay the darker triangle piece here that's going to get overlaid by the lighter blue. And then you're going to have the white border going around the image. And then we're going to put in, the different text and the lines as well. So coming back here to the blank template, I typically, if I'm putting in a different background, like an image background, I'll go to uploads and I'll upload my own image. But since this is just a solid background, I'm going to go here to elements, and I'm going to go to shapes, and I'm going to pick the square image. So this is going to be the overlay first. So I would, pick my color. So in this case, we'll go with the reddish pink color. So that's going to be the overlay that's going to have some transparency. We're going to reduce the transparency in a minute so that it goes over the triangle piece. So next we want to make the triangle piece. So I'm going to also pick the square again. And then here where you can rotate the image, I'm going to rotate it to the 45-degree angle or whatever angle you want. And then, I'm going to line it up here with the diagonal in the corner here. And then you're just going to drag it bigger and bigger and bigger until it fits. So I'm going to, you can play with it. If you want it to go straight across like that, you can do it like that. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll change the angle of it. So you got to come back over here to where you can find the rotate button, and I'll just rotate it a little more so that it stops sooner. So you'll see in a minute. So now you can see the angles change. So now it's going to cut out of the page right here. Whereas before, when it was a perfect 45-degree angle, it went corner to corner. But I kind of like a little different design. So I always line up the corner here, and then you can see it cuts out right here. So when you come back over to my Instagram page, I'll show you. You can see how I cut them out right here. I didn't quite go corner to corner. I cut it out early. So that's what we did here. We cut it out early, and now we've got this triangle piece that's going to go behind. It's going to be like the very back layer. I typically will go with a lighter gray. So we can go with this medium gray color here. Now, to make these change layers so that you can go here to arrange, and you can move them forward and back to choose how you want them layered. So if I click forward, it's going to cover up that triangle piece. And now we've got this overlay color like we want it. So now we just got to adjust the transparency. So come here to the checkered box right here. It says transparency, and it's going to let you, adjust it. So I'll go back, probably to 78 or so. So there we go. Now you've got the darker triangle piece showing through behind, and then you've got the overlaid reddish color. So that's what we did here. We had like an overlay of black over a darker black. Here we had the green overlay and a darker piece. So you can adjust it. So I might adjust this one here. So minimize that so that we're able to grab this piece, and I'll actually go down one shade to a lighter color. So there we go. Now you've got this, and then we can adjust the transparency some more. So you can play around with that. Now we've got, the triangle piece behind there, and we've got the overlay. So now we can start adding the next element, which was the border and the text. And then we've got these little boxes here. So to add a border, you stay under shapes again, and you just scroll down here, and eventually there's going to be some outline shapes. So I usually pick the square one. And then to adjust the thickness, you need to resize it using the diagonals. So shrink it down to the thickness that you want, and then to adjust it back out, you use the side and the up and down arrows. So now I grab it and pull it out here to the side, then I pull it up here to the top. So you can go around and adjust the sides until you get, the right border thickness that you want, and then you can choose the color that you want it. So we'll go with the white again. So then next we'll go to text. And now we can add in some text. So just pick one of these texts, or if you like one of these templates down here, you can start with those. I'll typically just click add heading, and then I'll pick the font type. So if I want alpha slab, and then I'll go here and change the color to white. And then the font, we could blow it up to 56. And then, I can type in ask Nick Foy to be, maybe my title for my post, so we can insert that there. And then to insert this little box down here, you can either do a solid one or you can do an outline box. So in this case we did an outline box. Over here we did the solid box. So you can choose your poison. Typically, if you're going to use this outline border, the square border, then you're going to want to use the solid fill like we did here, where it's the white solid border, because as you can see here, it wouldn't work if you had this whole border here. You'd have to do your own lines, because there's no way to it would be cutting through, basically, is what I'm trying to get at, if you didn't use the solid one to kind of hide the line behind it. So in this case, I had to put in my own lines here and all the way around the picture, which was kind of difficult. So it takes a little more time. I recommend just using the square border, and then coming here to elements and picking the solid square one again, and then you can make your own custom rectangle. So shrink this down into the rectangle that you want, and then change the color to white. So I might actually adjust the border in a little bit more to give myself some room. and then you can pop that in there, and then you can just stick some text over that. So now we'll go back to text, and I'll type in asknickfoy.com as the text, and then you can go ahead and pick your font. So we'll go with this font, and it's a simple user interface that just lets you drag and drop things. So you can drag it down here and let it sit there. So that's how we've done the border so far, and then we just stuck in that solid box behind there, and then put the text over that. Let's see, what else can we do? And then we've got the main text here, and then if you want to put a little box here, you can as well. So that's kind of the style I did with this, the golf tips. And then in this one, we decided to put some text up here at the top, and then put a line, and then we put our main text. So 100 ways to invest in real estate, put a line, and then we put whatever method we're investing in real estate. So mobile home parks happen to be the text here. So that's pretty much it. You can now stick in the text that you want. Come here to color again, make it white, and choose your font, and then you can start type in your tip, or you can put a quote here or whatever, and then you can adjust if you make lots of different words. So I'm just going to type in the word "and" a bunch of times to show you. So as you can see, this starts spanning the whole page, and it kind of looks ugly. So you just grab these sliders and drag it back in, and it'll auto adjust how many words per line, so that you can make a box of words instead of having them all on one line. So it'll kind of condense things down for you. So you can play around with this to resize. You could play with the font to get different font sizes that you want, and then toggle back and forth with this until it looks good. So that's pretty much the gist of creating this square photo design that I use on my Instagram accounts. Again, you could just come here into Canva, select your template. If you're using Instagram, pick the Instagram template, and then you can start with the background first and kind of layer things as you go. So then we layered the border, and then we started layering the text on top. And if you need to get back to your background, you can click arrange, and you can go forward and back with your different things that you've put on your image in order to get back down to your bottom layer. Once you're done, you want to come here where it says unsaved changes. So go to file and go to save. Now it's going to say all changes saved there. So now you're good to go. You've made changes, you've saved them, and you're free to give it a title. So in this case, we'll just leave it. This is going to be the image file name and the title for you to find on your laptop or computer easily, as well as the image file name. So if you're uploading it to a website for SEO purposes, you're going to want whatever keywords you're ranking for to be the image name there. Once you're done with the name, you're going to probably need to make sure it saves again so that it updates, making changes to the name. Then go to download, and you can select the image file type. So there's JPEG or PNG. I usually just leave it with PNG, and then click download, and it'll begin downloading for you. Now another tip I'm going to show you is if you want to, like how I had multiple images going down the page here so that I could quickly just edit the text. I made one template, and then I copied it a bunch of times so that I could easily edit the template. So you just come here to this that says copy page, and it will copy a new one down. So I'll click it a bunch of times, and now I can scroll down, and you see there's just a bunch of copies, and then you can go in and edit the text of each one while you leave the rest of this stuff as it is. So in my case, I made, two different templates. I made the black one, and then I copied it down here, and then I just went in and changed the background color to green, and then I copied a bunch of them, and then in order to get them to alternate like this, all you had to do was use these arrows to toggle up and down. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up this tutorial of how to use Canva to make Instagram images. If you want to see another tutorial on how to make Pinterest images, you can stop by the YouTube channel Ask Nick Foy and search for that video. I'll also link to it below in the description or somewhere nearby this video that you're watching currently. Be sure to check it out. It shows you how I make my tall vertical images. It's a pretty similar style to what I showed you in this video. And then we've also got another tutorial on Canva walking you through all the different features of Canva. So maybe this was your first time coming across Canva and you're confused as to how it works and you want more help. Be sure to check out that tutorial as well.